think it's a human experience, to have something that comes back and comes back and comes back. And when I
Yeah.
listen to you talk, I know that one of the things my clients often ask is, well, see, that's how Valda did it. She did that, so that must be how I do it. Can you take a moment and just speak to that, to the importance of sort of the incisive question that you brought up, that, or the consciously looking for deeper understanding, and how it's not a formula or a prescription. Would you mind speaking to
Yeah,
that?
yeah. This was all just coming to me in insight. Any of the thought. Once again, I'd never even had insight at this level before. When he asked me that question, have you ever seen your thinking this clearly? It was such an easy. It was not a hard answer. It was like, oh no, absolutely not. So it was just in the moment, an experience I was having. Insightful questions were coming to my mind. Insightful thinking was coming to my mind, and it was of a deeper quality than what I was used to, or a deeper understanding than what I was used to.
It would reveal something, or it
Oh, it
lead
definitely,
you
yeah.
somewhere. It did something for you. It helped you.
I knew it was deeper than where I had been. I mean, and I didn't even want to accept what it was when I first heard it. I was so willing to stick with what I thought. So it's
So
not ever there's no process. I'm not saying a process. This is just what happened to me. I've had something about Sid, just his experience that he had, that he just, it wasn't where he was standing. It wasn't how old he was. It wasn't what he'd been studying. It wasn't where he lived. It had nothing to do with his family. The
right.
idea that insight could come to people, not because of anything they've been doing necessarily. That was, I loved, because I mean, that made sense to me. I knew I'd had insight in my life. I didn't know why I'd had it when I'd had it. I thought I could remember all the way back to childhood. Once he sort of had that on the screen, that look, this is a part of
Yeah.
your life that's up and running, and let's take a look at it. It's really valuable. And I just hadn't had anybody say that so directly to me in a way that meant something to me.
There's this paradigm shift that happens during the conversation from, oh, I feel this way and it must be something outside of me, let me go repeat that, to, oh, I feel this way, that's telling me something about my thinking. It's telling me something about what's going on in here. And that is what it sounds like to me, that you began to look at it as, oh, this is telling me something about what's going on in here, not about what happened out there.
And
Yeah.
little did I know how much was that I was going to run into.
Yeah. And
Because
still run
this
into.
is the unknown. This is what you don't know. And I didn't have any sort of kind of practical reason in my life to head straight into the unknown. So I didn't head. You would have do it naturally from time to time, or a lot of times, depending on how insightful the person was. But I was consciously, for the first time in my life, heading straight into the unknown. It was within me to know, gosh, I would like to know something deeper about this.
Yeah.
What I've got going on here is not great. And so I loved it. I was hopeful that something could come to me just through insight, was all I was kept banking on.
Right.
That would be some deeper understanding for me. And
So,
I think Sid was a great example of that.
And he charted. He kind of. I mean, in a way, his clarity, his vision, his practicality of insight for all humanity at any moment in any time forever was to take us out of our misunderstanding, to go beyond our
Mm.
misunderstanding was so palpable and so true, and he was so zeroed in on it, and he just kept talking about it and kept talking about it, and it just it woke up something in us, like, oh my gosh, I've been underestimating what is possible here. I've been belittling insight. I've went with my history, my memory, my childhood, the importance of this, that, and the other thing, and these dynamics. And he said that's got no limitations on you. my friend. You know, like he just kept. Um, and he was such a great example of it, being a troubled welder, ninth grade educated welder. It was like his insight was so uh, transcendent, so out of the blue. So he was the last person that I would think deserved such an insight. You know, he had no accounting for it forever. Like he had no. He was as puzzled by what happened to him and what he learned on his deathbed as he was that it happened to him seconds after it happened. So he and I think his respect for that and his not taking credit for it and his understanding of insight was so razor sharp and clear. It's continued to wake humanity up as to what's beyond our misunderstanding.